We made it to Friday. Happy Friday. So today I wanted to talk to you about emotional eating. I know earlier in the week we talked about clean eating and its importance and everything, but let's be honest, sometimes that is just really hard. One of the biggest things that I always kind of knew I was like an emotional eater from like my entire life. And one of the biggest things I discovered about myself when I started this journey is what that really meant. Like, I could deal with like the everyday stressors of life, like getting a flat tire or something silly like that, you know, things that just happen. But it was when I was really stressed out emotionally with like emotional stuff that, you know, I haven't really dealt with. Maybe I should go see a therapist about, you know, those kinds of things. Those were my triggers. That's when I really wanted to, like when I got really sad or when I got really anxious about something, that was my trigger to really eat stuff that made me that I thought was going to make me feel better. And my biggest downfall is sweets. Like, I can eat my weight in cake, you know what I mean? So I really want to talk to you about recognizing that and knowing that that's not something that just disappears overnight. It's especially not something that disappears in a week, and it's something that you just kind of have to be mindful of. Like, I am always going to love cake, and I am always going to be an emotional eater, but the fact that I recognize that means that I can better control that. I also know that most of you on here are Southerners, and here in the South, I know that, you know, like, we equate food with everything. We celebrate with food. We mourn with food. Food is in everything that we do. I know, like, for my family, I have some family members in here. For my family, like, the first thing we think about when we think of Thanksgiving is, like, we get together, who's gonna cook what? Like, we're getting so excited. Like, it's with, like, birthdays, the first conversation is always like, what are we having, and who's gonna bring this, and what are we gonna eat, what's the cake gonna be, like, what are we eating? So, and the same thing goes, and I hate to say this, but the same thing kind of goes with like funerals too, or when we're trying to make somebody feel better. The first thing we do is we discuss like who's bringing what food kind of thing, or, you know, like, I know you're really sad today. Do you want me to bring you anything? Like, do you want some pie? Or like, my grandma used to always ask me, what can make you feel better? And I would always tell her roast and rice and gravy. I know I've got some cousins in here that'll be like, yep, we know what we were talking about. So I know that emotional eating and really breaking that habit is something that's hard for a lot of people, and I want you to know that it's okay if you still feel that way. You probably will always feel that way throughout your life, but it's important to just recognize what your triggers are. That way you can better control when you do get upset and things like that. So, or when you're really happy. Some people like to, like, you know, like, yay, I just got a job promotion or something. Let's go get some, like, drinks and celebrate, and let's get a really big cheeseburger, or let's go to our favorite Mexican place. It's that kind of emotional eating too. And really learning how to break the habit of both rewarding and punishing yourself with food is something that takes lots and lots of practice. I am a year into this, and it is still really hard for me. So just know that, recognize it, and that's the first step to kind of like breaking that habit and pushing past it, and knowing that food is more than that, right? Food is about fueling your body and not rewarding or punishing it. So I just want to give you that little tidbit. If you want to talk more about that, please post in the comments below, or if it's something really personal, please feel free to send me or Coach Kiera a message if you want to get a little more personal with it. So I hope you guys have a great Friday. We're going into the weekend. That does not give you an excuse to slack, okay? And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.